Thanks very much for coming along today. I'm Simon Holst with New Zealand Food Safety, and I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the journey we've gone through recently to come up with the food control plan templates that we have. So I thought I'd go back and start at the beginning. So food control plan templates aren't really anything new to us, at least the concept. Probably close to 10 years ago, we started offering some templates, and as businesses, that covered a certain range of things, and businesses started asking us to include more and more in them, and we did. But ultimately that resulted in some templates that were really big and quite cumbersome. If you had the full template, and not that everyone needed the full template, it was about 220 pages. So where we've moved to now is our Simply Safe and Suitable template. And this is an 84% reduction in the number of words. So it was quite a big change. And it wasn't just, it also represented a whole change in the approach that we take. Rather than just writing what we thought you might need, we actually went out and spoke to businesses. So initially this was sort of one-on-one consultation or interviews, and also, when I say not just businesses, but also with verifiers. So some of our businesses are verified by councils and some of them by third-party agencies. So it was really interacting with all of these people, trying to find out what it is we need to do. And the message we got more and more was, from businesses in particular, we just want to know what it is we have to do. Just tell us the rules and we'll follow them. So, I mean, that was one of the guiding factors with our new template. And we didn't try and modify the old ones. We actually went back and started from the ground up. One of the things we did, through the interviewing, through talking to businesses, was try and get a better understanding of how businesses work. What does a day in the life of a business look like? And then it made us realise, really, most businesses have some pretty common things. You come in, might not be at the morning, sometimes it's the morning, but sometimes it's evening, and there's things you do when you're setting up for the day. There's things you do when you're making food, serving food during the day, and then there's things you do at the end of the day, cleaning up, those sort of things. And we thought, well, maybe we can actually build a plan that works better with this model. Not just making you do things our way, because that's what's best for us. So that was part of the approach. Again, obviously, we had clearly heard that the old plan was just too big, and people were getting lost in it. And the other part one of the reasons it was so big was there was a whole lot of guidance built into the plan. So it wasn't tried to make it clear what were the rules, but then there was also this guidance. And then, that wound up getting blurred over time. So people weren't quite clear what was actually a legal requirement that they had to do, and what were things that were maybe a good idea to do. And that was getting lost, not just for the businesses, but also with the verifiers. So in the new plans, we've really stripped it down. And you'll see, it's up on the walls in various places here as well. But the format we went for was this know, do and show format. So the know stuff, that's sometimes a bit of background or a bit of helpful information. Again, we've tried to keep it as quite short as possible. The do section, that is actually the legal requirements. We've tried to translate it into plain English, but these are the things you must do. And the show, these are the things that your verifier will want to check when they come and see your business. And again, in the past, that's been, the emphasis had really gone to records. People wanted to see records. But records don't really, they have some use, and sometimes they're useful for businesses themselves, because if something goes wrong, They can go back to their records and say, look, we were actually doing everything right, here's our records that show it. But other times, it's not the most useful way checking a record, you know, we know that people were filling in records the night before sometimes, pages and pages of records the night before. That's not much use to anyone. What's more use is that you know what it is you have to do to make safe food. So what we want now is we're moving to a system with our verifiers where they, and you'll see this in the card, so where you do need to keep a record, there will be, it's marked with a symbol, a pencil symbol, and these are things where you have to, I won't say write it down, but it's not even just write it down. Sometimes it might be taking a photo, whatever it is. Any way you want to keep that record is okay. We just need a record. But other times it's things show. And when we say show, it's sort of demonstrate. You know, we want verification to become an interactive process with your verifier. So if you do, you know, we've got a video here saying, you know, 5-year-old can wash their hands, and that's exactly right, you know. We want you to show us, or you know, the verifier might ask one of your staff members to show them how they wash their hands. We want to see using running water, you know, rubbing between all their fingers, soap, and then drying your hands properly afterwards. And also, you know, that can serve as a double check for the verifier, because by asking a staff member to do that, your verifier can actually see that you have all the facilities there. You've got a sink available, or you've got water available, you've got soap, and finally you've got the hand towels. So, you know, it's a better way. We don't, you know, it's much more useful than just having a checklist to say you did it. And we've now extended, or actually no, while I'm sticking with Simply Safe and Suitable, one of the things we have here is an update pack. So it does come with instructions, but we have had to make some tweaks to the template. I don't think there were any left at this stage. You can go to the website and download a full new version, but if you don't want to, if you've got a printed version and you just want to make the changes you need, there's 2 cards you need to add and 1 card you need to take out the old one and replace it with a new one. But again, there's instructions in the card and the pack's available. Following on from Simply Safe and Suitable, once we had some basic rules for food businesses, we've sort of started thinking, well, maybe we can apply that more widely. So we've gone to, we've done one for cheesemakers, but now also for winemakers. So the idea for this template was, so you've got businesses that might make and serve wine, but also make and serve some food. So you've got a winery that's got a restaurant on the side. Currently, that means 2 acts you're registered under, 2 sets of rules you've got to follow, and quite likely 2 different verifications, 2 visits. So that seemed unnecessary to us. We started thinking, why can't you just have one plan that you can follow that meets both sets of requirements? You register it once, and with any luck, you get verified once as well. Verified checks both the wine and the food activities at the same time. And we hope that not only makes it simpler for businesses, but should also cost a bit less.